It's a lot easier to make videos now because I'm not so concerned with fixing my hair before the video. Um, I've always thought that the main way that I would teach and have always taught in my life is that I would serve as a warning to others. And I was thinking about that last night. I mean, it's two-sided because it's like a warning, but it's that path of being the example because it's, the Aries rising, so it's the pioneer spirit. I'm doing it first. And I was lying in bed thinking about how, with all of the materials that we read, the self-help materials and so forth, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm listening to them, I think, oh God, but that's so far from where I am. Like I still feel really lost in anger and pain and suffering, and God help me, I can't get control of my thoughts. And so I was thinking about that last night because EFT, if you've heard of that, emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping, is very helpful. And I was thinking that every time that I was introduced to it by a therapist, and I was thinking about every time I've heard some spiritual teacher or other social sort of guide talk about it, they're able to talk about it in this really peaceful way. It's not necessarily in the moment. And I had this idea last night because I was crying my eyes out. I had the idea, let me make a video of going through it, so that I can really be that example that I really feel like I am. Because my faith renews every day and usually comes back in the morning. The nighttime is always the hardest, I think, for everybody. And so last night was really hard. I did not make that video because it felt too revealing. I kept thinking, oh, I got to do it. I know it's going to be so helpful. And so I think that I've given birth to that idea. I probably will do it, but I couldn't do it last night. But I thought I would talk a little bit about the experience and the process. And for people who don't know what EFT is, just give a little example of it, because I can definitely tap into those feelings from last night. Oh, no pun intended, tap into. So the whole idea is based on these acupressure points that sort of are our energy points that help us to have the energy flow through the meridians of our bodies so that we can have all of our energy centers or our chakras in alignment and connected and communicating with each other, and then being open to universal source energy and through our feet down into Mother Earth. And so, anyway, last night I'm just crying and upset about a situation that happened with one of my beloved children. Very frustrating, and I feel like I keep trying to remind myself, like in these good times, like, wow, God must think I'm amazing to give me such a difficult assignment. I am amazing. So anyway, last night as I was trying to be okay again, I was real pleased with myself that I did become angry, but I didn't say anything unkind. What had happened is there was all this energy directed at me that was, you could characterize it as unkind, but it was a person who was very hurt, expressing it as unkindness, because when a person treats you really badly, God, I've known this so many times, it's really hitting me, like the emotional part of it, but when it's hard thinking about somebody who you love so much, and I think about the degree to which I feel I was treated unkindly. They're showing you how much pain they're in the only way they know how to, especially for a young person, because their vocabulary of emotions is so limited. For many children, I don't know, I guess you get children with a Cancer moon. My kid has a Gemini moon. So, anyway, it really hurt, and what hurt about it was a lot of things, like maybe ego stuff too, like I'm not feeling like I'm a good mom, but if I think on that and feel into that, it doesn't feel so much like it's like that. Not that I don't have insecurities about that, but where I sometimes feel that I'm failing is connected to the happiness of my children, and I'll see that deep suffering that I can feel within him. And it feels really hard and unbearable, in fact. And so it's funny. I guess you should be careful what you wish for, because I was thinking I wasn't necessarily going to do a live video example of tapping through the feelings, but I can feel all this stuff coming up around my son. And so I will just do it. I have it recording. And so I'll say, although this really hurts, and I feel like a lot of times I'm not a very good mom, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I know it wouldn't hurt this much if I was a mom who didn't care. I mean, is there even a mom who doesn't care? I don't know. Sometimes, like last night, the pain was so bad. I felt like I couldn't care about him. I just wanted to run away. I love myself that I didn't do that. And I didn't drink or anything like that. I just, I did this, I did the tapping, and it is starting to feel better. And although sometimes I have those moments of, feeling like I'm not connecting with him, or not being effective, because I don't ever get times of reward with him where he's happy, and it's been a really long time. I still deeply love and accept myself. Because I know that although these moments come up that feel so intensely painful, I am a good mother. I was brought here to take care of these children. And it's a huge responsibility, and sometimes I don't feel equal to it, and I feel really overwhelmed by it. But I deeply love and accept myself. So I do have a beautiful heart. And it's here to receive these children. I know they wouldn't have been given to somebody else. Although sometimes I have to say that spiritual people get caught in difficult things, because I think, well, my parents were also the perfect parents, and I had some pretty bad abuse from my father, pretty significant, and but still I acknowledge that they were the perfect parents to bring me to the spiritual perspective that I have. This is called the sore spot. I know I'm doing it in the right place, because it hurts like hell when I do it. And it can help when the tapping gets stuck. So you sort of start in this karate chop point. Oh, I must be feeling good if I feel like dipping into educational section. But I deeply love and accept myself. I'm grateful for my beautiful heart. Wow, it's interesting, like the heart keeps coming up. That's not usual for me. I usually think of other stuff. So that's good. I want my heart to open. Thank you. Anyway, so you're tapping into these points, and you're feeling the emotions, and you're actually accessing these neural pathways that got messed up in your childhood or in a past life or whatever. Oh. Yeah, I guess your energy is what creates the neural pathways before you incarnate, so that makes sense of how they'd be there when you're born, right? It's just an idea. I don't know if that's true. I deeply love and accept myself. And so another thing I know is, because I'm not necessarily, I'm following pretty well the pattern, the karate chop points here. I just kind of cover them all because I don't know exactly where they are, but it does seem to work doing it this way. I think you could do it on either hand, but I don't know. Just try it and see what works for you. Follow your intuition, because I know that it's working, because I'm feeling better. And I really am grateful, because I really wanted to do a video like this, but I thought, well, hell, that's going to be so hard and so personal, and I already feel like I suck a lot of the time. But this is great. I'm feeling really good, and I do deeply love and accept myself. I think I have a gift of a beautiful heart. was really, yeah, so that works. That was good. Thank you for watching, and I hope that's helpful for you. And send me a message if you have a question about how to do it. But there's tons of videos on YouTube, emotional freedom technique. And I think there's a textbook for therapists that I got years ago by Fred Gallo, who's one of the pioneers of the technique, called Energy Healing and Psychotherapy, I think, and that you can get that on Amazon. But there's tons of videos on YouTube, and from what I have practiced, just that intention will sort of guide you to the right places. But if you really feel like the technique, being specific about the technique would be helpful, then just search up some videos, and you're going to find a lot of great stuff. I love you. Thank you.